The Champions League round of 16 has been set, ladies and gentlemen. It has been confirmed, and whilst I was watching that, I shed a tear because we should have been there. I'm still not over that game, and I don't think I'll ever be over it. Literally the whole of yesterday I was thinking about that as a Grover chance. But anyway, the round of 16 is here, and let's react to the draws. Now, if you haven't seen already, these are the fixtures, right? PSG face Chelsea, Galatasaray face Liverpool, Real Madrid face Manchester City, Atalanta face Bayern Munich, Newcastle United face Barcelona as well, Atletico Madrid face Spurs. Not a great game, I would say that will be. Bodo Glimt face Sporting Lisbon, and Bayer Leverkusen face Arsenal. So as you can see, the route to the final is set. It's confirmed. You know who's on which side. Nothing else can change. No more draws, just like we've seen last season with the new Champions League format. Straight off the bat, the left-hand side is a lot stronger than the right-hand side. It's a lot more stacked. There's better teams on the left compared to the right. And these are the fixtures. I mean, some tasty ones here, that's for sure. PSG-Chelsea, I think that'll be a really good watch. I think Chelsea actually were more favoured to get PSG compared to Newcastle, in my opinion. And I think Chelsea fans would have rather played PSG. I know off the bat, it's like, from like my perspective, why would Chelsea rather play PSG than Newcastle? Well, the answer is really simple. That is because Newcastle, they'd have to face 3 times in a row because they're playing them in the Premier League in that same period. So they would have had to play them 3 times in a row, which would have been complicated for sure. Galatasaray face Liverpool. So had we gone through, we would have faced Liverpool for the first time since 2005. But Gala got them. And Gala, if you know about the group stage, if you remember, Galatasaray actually beat Liverpool at home in Istanbul in the group stage. So they've played each other already. So that will be a nice matchup. However, I do believe with Galatasaray, no disrespect, if you get a result away from home, you're going through. Like, as long as Liverpool don't lose badly in Istanbul, they will go through. If they can nick a draw in Istanbul or even lose by like 1 goal, they should go through. But going to Istanbul is a tough place. Liverpool know this already and people just know it. But Galatasaray's form away from home is absolutely horrible. It's really bad. Real Madrid face Manchester City. In other news, the sky is blue during the day. Like, bro, water is wet. Like, this happens every year. I mean, this is probably the most rinsed UCL fixture I've ever seen in my life. And it's always a good watch, Real Madrid, Manchester City. But at the same time, like, I think it's just lost its cinema value. Like, probably early 2020s when they were facing each other, like, year upon year. They were going band for band, toe to toe. Last season, it wasn't a great game. This season, I don't think it's going to be a great game. Madrid this year haven't been good. City have been better, but still not at their typical standards. Atalanta, Bayern, I mean, that will be a good game in my opinion. I think that game there will be a really, really tasty match. I'm going to give my predictions after. But Newcastle, Barca, again, like Galatasaray, Liverpool, that's a repeat of the group stage. I think Barcelona won 2-1 at St. James's Park, so already confidence there for the Barca boys. Atleti versus Spurs, just come on, bro. I think that's a dead game. Neither play super attractive football. Tottenham are like basically borderline a championship club. Atleti, then we'll talk about that game in a sec, predictions and all of that. Bodo Glimt Sporting, really the 2 underdog teams so far of the UCL, probably alongside Gala as well, to be fair, facing each other. That will be a really tasty game. That'll be a super close game in my opinion. I really don't know which way. That's probably the game I can't predict, if that makes sense. Like the rest, I kind of know who I think would go through. That game, I'm a bit on the fence. And Leverkusen, Arsenal, yeah, fries in the bag for Leverkusen. It's a long day. In terms of my predictions for these games, right? Chelsea, PSG, I'm very much looking forward to. I'm very much looking forward to that game because there's always history there. I mean, they've played each other in the past in the Champions League. When I think Chelsea, PSG, I think of David Luiz moving from Chelsea to PSG. And I always build up like this saga and hype around it because, I don't know, I see some similarities between the clubs, maybe because of the financial takeovers from both teams, Abramovich and Al Khelafi taking over both teams and sort of building them up into the European powerhouses that they now are, really. I mean, PSG have won 1 Champions League, but in terms of like dominance in the league, PSG have been farming it for really the last 12, 13 years. They've won the majority of Ligue 1s, and in Europe, they got over the line last season. So they're similar in that sense, in my opinion. I do think this PSG team aren't the same PSG team as last season, though. I think they're beatable, for sure. I see weaknesses in their game compared to last year. But at the same time, with PSG, I think if you remember last season, they really started kicking on in the second half of the campaign. They had a slow start to the 24-25 season. So I'm looking at it and thinking, well, PSG, why can't they do the same this year? They signed Kvaratskhelia in January, and that's, for me, what really catapulted their season. At the same time, though, Kvaratskhelia hasn't been at the high heights we saw in the second half of last season compared to the start of this season so far. Dembele's really picking it up. Doué's been picking it up as well in the last few games. But the keeper situation as well, I'm not the biggest fan. After losing Donnarumma, I think they've struggled a bit. The midfield is still what it is, of course. If I had to bet on one of these teams, I would go PSG, because saying that PSG aren't the same team as they were last season, bro, Chelsea, come on, man. Chelsea have dropped 19 points from winning positions this year. 19. I don't think a team in Europe has dropped more. If Chelsea had got all those 19 points, they'd be first in the Premier League, to put it into like hindsight, right? Just so you can contextualize it all. Chelsea this season, for me, they've been super, super disappointing. And they've had a massive drop of form in the last few months. Guys like Caicedo as well, who were operating at one of the best midfielders in the world. I wasn't really never on that hype train too much. I'll keep it real with everyone. I think I even said it on an SDS when we did the top 10 performing players in Europe. I had Modric over him. And fast forward to today, who'd be higher in the rankings? Luca Modric. Caicedo's dropped off massively. Cole Palmer's he's been unfit a lot of the season, but he's not been firing. Esteval, not always playing, up and down. Guys like Pedro Neto, Garnacho, Gittins, I mean, how they play for Chelsea, I'll never know. The striker situation is dire for Chelsea. The main constant, let's say, in that team for me has probably been Reece James, Enzo Fernandez, leaders like that, really. But I'm looking at that situation, I think, well, I'm never going to count Chelsea out in Europe, because they're always like a sort of bogey team like some of these other teams in the round of 16. But if I had to put money on the situation, I would go for the reigning champions in PSG. I just think Enrique's a great European knockout stage coach as well. I really think they'll start firing on. If I'm looking down, guys, I'm just looking at the draw as well on my phone, just so I remember all the games. Galatasaray versus Liverpool. This is a tasty game. This is a tasty game, tasty fixture. If I had to bet money on it, just going into it, I'd say Liverpool, because I'll tell you where I'm at with Gala, right? I watched us play Gala both legs. At home, they're a completely different beast to when they're away. That's just a fact. There's no two ways about it. Galatasaray are a different animal when it comes to home games. You go to Istanbul, you suffer. I don't care if you're Arsenal. I don't care if you're Bayern. I don't care if you're City. I don't care if you're Barca. If Arsenal are playing them, I would say the same thing. I'd be like, that away leg, I'm not even confident anyone can win there. Seriously, bro. I'll give Gala the favourites against absolutely anyone in Istanbul, because the crowd and the fans are a 12th man. They're a 12th man, bro. I remember watching the game, and it's deafening on TV. All you can hear are Gala fans chanting, whistling, jeering when the opposition's on the ball, supporting their team, making noise. Imagine what it's like in the stadium. I remember, I think it was Werner when he was at Leipzig. I think he played in Turkey, right? And he had to come off. And as he was coming off, he had his fingers in his ears, and he was crying, bro. I'm pretty sure it might have been against Besiktas. It wasn't Gala, right? But the Turkish fans are crazy. They're crazy football fans. They create a really toxic, hostile environment. And as I said earlier, no team wants to go to Turkey. Even if we put 2010-11 Barcelona there, I'm not even sure if they'd get a result there. Genuinely, bro. So Liverpool going there. I mean, they already went there in the group stage. They lost. I haven't been super impressed with Liverpool this year. Again, inconsistent, up and down. Few constants throughout the season. Players like Szoboszlai, but even then, just not brilliant. I will give them credit though that, in my opinion, they've improved compared to the start. Really, when they were going on a really, really poor run of form. Guys like Wirtz, who I was very super critical of, I think he's really starting to find form now, and really showcasing the talent that he is, which is a good thing. It's a good thing for Liverpool. And I do back them over the course of the two legs, because let's be real, Anfield as well, that's a hard place to go, especially when it comes to European nights. It will actually be really interesting to see, can Gala get the better of Liverpool at home and try and sort of modify the way they play compared to at Juventus, compared to Anfield, right? because in my opinion, I don't think Liverpool will win in Istanbul. I think the best they can get is a draw. But when it comes back to Anfield, I see Liverpool seeing it out. I just look at Galatasaray. I don't think they have the man management to sort of see out a match, see out a fixture. I look at the way they played against us away from home. It was shambolic. Like, they was, as I said, bro, I'm not saying this from like a biased point of view or like a hurt point of view, like towards Gala and their fans and the team. But over the course of the game in Turin, they should not have gone through. The refereeing decision was a scandal. We already discussed that. They shouldn't. There's a Grover miss. Like, they were fortunate, like very, very lucky to even make it to this point. And against Liverpool, will luck fall on their lap twice in a row? Well, maybe. We're talking about the Champions League here. Stranger things have happened. It's all about luck in this competition. All you need is really luck to win the Champions League. Not always the best team wins. In fact, very rarely the best team in the world wins the Champions League. It's about moments. But having said that, I will still back Liverpool over the course of the two legs. I think they'll win that. Real Madrid, Manchester City now. Guys, as I said earlier, I'm not super hyped up for this game. In fact, looking at these fixtures, you'd think because of the size of the club, size City, but you know, the name and the stature of the clubs, especially in the modern era, this is the best game. But I'm not. I don't care for this game. Like, I've watched Madrid this season. They're lackluster. They're boring. They're not exciting whatsoever. I mean, Mbappe's still injured. He will probably be fit for this game. But Madrid rely on moments, individuals. One thing I'm happy about, right, is that Vinny's really coming into his own in the last month or so. I like Vinny a lot. I got a lot of time for Vinny. I rate him so highly. And I've been super critical of him in the past, in the last 18 months, really post the Rodri Ballon d'Or, because I don't think he's lived up to his standards and my expectations of him as a footballer. But the ties against Benfica, hey, Vinny turned up, home and away. And he did his thing. He silenced the fans. Rightfully so, the way they were treating him and the way that I forgot the Benfica player's name. The way he was acting towards him was completely disgusting, and Vinny responded in the perfect manner. But when it comes to UCL knockout stages, Vinny is him. Vinny locks it. Vinny is a big game player, bro, in the knockout stage of the Champions League, and I love Vinny. I really do. I think Vinny is a great forward. And I think he'll be a really important key here. And if you look at Vinny's record against Manchester City, it's very good. Vinny when it comes to playing City Guardiola teams, Vinny always turns up, bro. However, in my opinion, I think City have been the better team this season compared to Real Madrid. I look at City and I'm still critical of them, right? Because I've seen the top City teams, 17-18, 18-19, 21-22, 22-23, treble winning team, 23-24 even. And I'm like, well, this City team can't compare to those. Like, this City team would get popped off the park by those ones, 100%. But I think they are good at reacting to the opposition, if that makes sense. They're good at adapting to who they're playing, and they manage to get over the line enough. Now, obviously, they are second in the Premier League, and I don't think the quality of the top teams in Europe and even in the Premier is the same. And I think in some games they've been fortunate to get over the line, but I still think they're a better team than Real Madrid this season. I do. And I think they have a lot of assets that can hurt Madrid. The fast wingers, Doku, Semenyo, these kind of guys, Haaland up top. Like, the fullbacks, Nunez, he's been incredible. He's been absolutely incredible. O'Reilly's been incredible this season as well. So I think over the course of the two legs, I would probably edge it to Manchester City. But again, in Europe, discrediting Real Madrid, counting them out is pretty silly. But even I was speaking to Faisal the other day. I said, if you get City, what do you think? He said, we're going out. So even the Madrid fans, I don't know, Madrid fans, if you're watching, let me know how you guys feel. But the ones I've spoken to, they're not super confident with it. And I understand why. Next game, Atalanta-Bayern. I'd actually say I'm most excited for this match. Like, genuinely, Atalanta versus Bayern Munich. Of course, Atalanta doing Italian football proud. The only Italian team to make it to the round of 16. And Bayern Munich are one of the strongest teams in Europe. I would say they're the second best team in Europe so far this season, behind Arsenal, personally. They lost to Arsenal at the Emirates, so for me, Arsenal are better than them. But yeah, Bayern are just, they're killing the league as always. The firepower they have, Harry Kane, just one of the best strikers in the world. One of the best players in the world, really. You could make the case that he is the best in the world in terms of strikers. Olise, who for me has raised his level so much this season, become a world-class level footballer. Their team is just so well drilled, so well oiled. Luis Diaz is firing. The defense is strong. it's an incredible side. It's an incredible side. There's no denying that Bayern Munich are the favourites for this game. And if I had to put money on it, of course I'm saying Bayern Munich. I don't think Atalanta will go through. But at the same time, I can't really count out Atalanta. Because like Chelsea, when it comes to Europe, especially in the last 5 years, bro, these guys turn up. Like, are we forgetting some of the upsets that Atalanta have caused in European football? Like, in 2020, smacked up Valencia, I believe, what was it, 7-1, 8-1 on aggregate, something like that. Almost knocked out PSG, and if it wasn't for Neymar Jr., one of the greatest footballers of all time, they would have knocked them out. They've gone on like unbelievable runs in Europe. I believe they've beaten Bayern Munich in the last 5 years in the Champions League as well. They obviously won the Europa League against Leverkusen against all the odds in 2023, it was, or 2024. No, 2024. I think it was the 23-24 season. They beat Liverpool on the way there. Like, Atalanta in Europe turn up, and Palladino plays a very nice style of football. I think he's really getting the best out of this Atalanta team. He's really turned their season on a 360-degree sort of motion post-Juric. And you can't really count Atalanta out, guys. Like, they're just a bogey team in Europe. Like, I wouldn't want to face them. I know if Arsenal fans watching it were praying for Leverkusen compared to Atalanta. Like, you don't want to face them. But I would still say that Bayern are the favourites. Going over to Newcastle, Barca. I mean, I don't really want to touch upon this too much. Newcastle are not winning. Like, there's no way in hell they go through against Barcelona. Barca are one of the best teams in the world, and I want Barca to go through. I really want to get... I want a specific semi-final, so I want Barcelona to go through. Atletico Spurs. Atleti should win that. Atleti are a bit of a hit and miss team. Like, sometimes they turn up, like, beating Barcelona 4-0. Sometimes they have the most bizarre losses. But in big games, Simeone knows how to dictate them well. He's got a lot of experience, and going up against Tudor, like, Tudor will struggle in that head-to-head, a tactical head-to-head, and Tottenham are on the verge of relegation, bro. And Tottenham have bigger things to worry about. Tottenham will not worry about the Champions League. They need to worry about getting points in the league. This is not relevant for them. So Atleti should go through in that game. Bodo Glimt Sporting is probably the hardest to call in my opinion. This is really a 50-50. Alongside Madrid City, I'd say it's hard as well to call. But Bodo Glimt Sporting, two of the surprise packages. Sporting were absolutely incredible in the group stage. But Bodo Glimt, I mean, the way they beat Inter is ridiculous. They're still in their pre-season, bro. And they turned over Inter home and away, bro. So I'm super like happy, they knocked out Inter, but also super surprised at the season they're having in Europe. I mean, they beat City as well, Bodo Glimt. Like they've gotten big results. They almost beat us. They drew to Tottenham. Like, they're a good team. At home, I think they'll get a result at home, but going to Portugal is where they're really gonna fight the battle. I would edge Sporting to be the favourites overall, but I wouldn't be surprised if Bodo Glimt cause an upset. And Leverkusen Arsenal, I'm not even going to touch upon it for too long, bro. Let's just be real. Let's just say it as it is. Arsenal will probably put 5 to 6 past them over the course of the 2 legs. Like, there's no denying it. And if I look at this group stage again, let me pull it up actually on screen for you lot to see. The round of 16. I'm quite confident Arsenal will go to the semi-final. Like, I'm like 99% sure Arsenal will make it to the semis. On this side here, I did predict Barca Atleti, and I think if any team can knock out Barca is Atleti. They got a good record against Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, sorry. They do turn up against them. But I want to see a Barca-Arsenal semi-final. I just do. I just think it will be such an entertaining watch. Arsenal-Atleti will be just dead. It would be a repeat of the semi-final in the Europa League 17-18. But I just don't want to see that. I want to see Arsenal-Barca. And over here, I'm predicting a sort of Bayern Munich versus PSG semi-final. That's what I'm predicting. So that will be a really good sort of knockout stage. But yeah, that's my reaction to the round of 16. Let me know in the comments what you think. What are your predictions? Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're so close to 30k likes. Like the video, of course, if you enjoyed. It's a shame we're not there. We would have faced Liverpool. That would have been sick. Would have really enjoyed that. But yeah, guys, let me know what your thoughts were in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next one.